Welcome to Buy Tennessee Dirt training videos. If you're new to the team, welcome, and if you've been with us for a while, welcome back. So today we're going to go over the lot land purchase and sale agreement. So this is very similar to the purchase and sale agreement, but there's definitely a few things that are not on this one that are on the normal purchase and sale agreement. So let's get started. All right, you're just going to make sure that your client's information is in there correctly as the buyer's information. The seller's information is in there correctly, whether you have one seller or two, or if it's a company that owns it. Of course, there's the address that needs to be in there. And then you're going to have your deed office information, your deed book and page number and parcel number, which you're going to find on the tax record on RealTrax. And then, of course, if there is any legal description, in this particular case, it was a lot 2 that is 5 acres, because a lot of these properties, they are being sold by lots. So just to kind of give an idea or a better description as to which property it is that they want to purchase. Okay, and then if there is any leased items, most likely you're not going to run into that on a piece of land, but you never know, it might be there. And then of course your purchase price, whatever your client is offering, put it in the number form here, and then write it out as if you were to write out a check. This section here, it goes over, it's the price based on, and then you select one. So in this particular case, we're selecting for the entire property as a tract. That's what our client was wanting to purchase. They were just wanting to purchase lot 5 or lot 2, that's 5 acres. If there was a reason for it, you could select per acre, and then how much they would want to purchase it per acre. So let's say if $77,500, they're only willing to pay, are going to break it down and want to buy each lot, for $10,000 or whatever the case may be. And then this one here is for the purchase of the property tract, but the purchase price is adjusted upward or downward at a certain amount per acre in the event the actual amount of the acreage of the property based on a current or mutual acceptance survey should vary more or less than. This one here, I always put NA and just have it just that most likely what you're always going to run into is that they're going to want to purchase the property in its entirety. And then down here, appraisal, if it is contingent, if the person is purchasing it with a loan, you are going to need an appraisal. If it is a cash deal, most likely they're not going to want to pay for an appraisal, but it's entirely up to your client. All right, heading down to closing costs, very similar to the normal purchase and sale agreement. In this particular case, the buyer was fine with just paying for the title expenses, and they were fine with paying with their closing costs, and they just asked that the seller pays for their own closing cost. Closing agency, the title company, Bell & Alexander, they wanted to use A+ title and escrow. And then because the fact that this is going to be a loan, we've got a percentage of how much that loan is going to be. So you've got your options here of a conventional loan or rural USDA loan. 85% of it is going to be a loan, and then the rest is cash. And then of course, if it's a cash deal, you would select other and type in cash. Okay, financial contingency waived. Just like even if your client is paying all cash, don't check this. Just like in the regular purchase and sale agreement, there is a slim chance, there's always that chance that potentially something could fall through if they're trying to pull money out of the 401k or whatever the case may be. Don't do this. Don't ever select financial contingency being waived, and just put NA. And then you're going to put in your earnest money, where it's going to go. Of course, we have ours held at Bell & Alexander. Put the address, how much the earnest money is, and then ACH or personal check to be paid. Your close date, this all depends on your clients, how they're financing. If they're doing a cash deal, they can always do a quicker close. Or if they're doing financing, that's going to take a little bit longer. And then in this particular one, of course, it's going to be a purchase of warranty deed. It is not a green belt, but you'll go ahead and select that if it is. And then the deed, this is make sure your client's information is in there correctly and spelled correctly. Okay, so then here comes kind of like the nitty gritty of the purchase of the PSA that is extremely different compared to a normal purchase and sale agreement when you're purchasing a home. So keep in mind, let's go back up here, close date, which this one here is not an accurate one because it's one that's not going to go through, but let's just say, just to give us a little bit more understanding here. So we've got November 15th. So November 15th is quite a few, days away. Since currently right now it is Wednesday, September 18th. So that's just under 2 months away. But the reason why we have it so pushed far out is because in this particular one, they wanted a feasible study. So they wanted, the buyer wanted to be able to review all aspects of the property, to be able to do any kind of zoning or soil or utility service. So we did instead of in your purchase and sale agreement, you have 10 days to do your home inspections and pest inspections and a roof inspection if that's what you wanted to do. This one, we gave them, we were going to do a 21-day inspection period. So this gives our buyer 21 days to conduct all of these the feasible studies. We're trying to figure out what utility services, trying to figure out, it needs to be perked for however many bedrooms. This gives them that 21 days. And since it takes a little bit longer to do those things, we want to make sure that our client is given enough time to do that. Now, this also could be, none of this could be checked. Your client could just be like, I don't care. I just want to buy the land. I'll take care of everything on my own. And you wouldn't check any of this. And then in this, like I said, in this case, we had all these items checked because that's what they wanted to make sure that the property was going to fit what they wanted. So building permits was included in that 21-day inspection period. This it's contingent based upon the buyer ability to get licensing and permits in order to build on this property. And then as well as a permit for a septic system. So that's getting that perk test done to make sure, and getting a permit to make sure that they can get it there. And then, of course, if there's any other inspections, which if there is any other inspections, you're going to put that in the special stipulations. You can also select a well test if they wanted the time to, be given. And I would just also too, if you're going through and your client wants to do all these things prior to the home or prior to the purchase being done, just let them know that those fees that you're paying you don't get refunded on that, and the seller can't pay for those unless the sellers agreed upon that, which most likely the seller won't do that. Okay, final inspections, you can do 3 days, that's fine. And then I think, let's see what else we got. Exhibits and addendas, nothing there. And then right here was the special we had selected up here. Let's go back. Other inspections, put in the special stipulations. Purchase contingent on buyer approved perk site. So even though it was all included in these other tests, but we just wanted to make sure that we put in there that it was contingent on the buyer getting an approved perk test, because you never know, you might get out to a property and it might not perk at all, or the location for the home is not ideal for, the location that they would like to put a home is not ideal for that. And then in this one here, we just put, close date to be on or before October 15th based upon inspection. So if we were able to get, all of our inspections done within the next 15 days and everything looks good and we can close sooner, then that's where we would, that's why we put that in there, because then it would close before that October 15th. And then, of course, time limit offer, make sure you put a timestamp on this and the correct date and everything. Make sure that all the information for the listing site is in there and for your site is in here. And if it's a part of an HOA, make sure all that information is in there as well. And of course, as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Erin or myself, and we would be happy to help. And I hope you have a fantastic day.